Stop trying to be a good person. That's not advice you're used to hearing, is it? You were raised to be kind, taught to be polite, rewarded for being obedient, conditioned to care more about how you appear to others than who you really are. You were told that good things happen to good people, that patience is a virtue, that if you just keep being nice, life will eventually reward you. But here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't care about how good you are. The world doesn't hand out prizes for kindness. It doesn't care if you always put others first. And if you think being a good person guarantees you peace, success, or love, you're in for a rude awakening. Niccolo Machiavelli, the man who was demonized by many for being too honest about human nature, understood this deeply. He observed people not through the lens of morality, but power. He wasn't interested in how people should act, but how they really do. His conclusion? Being good makes you predictable, and predictability, in a brutal world, is weakness. When you're too focused on being good, you become a puppet to social expectations. You bend, you compromise, you silence your instincts to fit into a mold. And that mold was never built for your survival or your freedom. It was built to keep you in line, docile, agreeable, and most importantly, easy to control. Being a good person often means playing by rules that others do not. You forgive when you're hurt. You give when you're depleted. You say yes when your soul screams no. And slowly, the world takes advantage of you. Not out of malice, but simply because it can. People don't admire goodness unless it comes with power. Without strength, your goodness is seen as softness, as stupidity. The nice guy gets taken for granted. The good woman gets walked over. Because people are not drawn to goodness, they're drawn to strength. And Machiavelli knew this. He famously said it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. That one sentence alone shatters the illusion of goodness we're taught to live by. Fear isn't about terror. It's about respect, boundaries, influence. When you stop trying to be good, you start becoming real. You stop performing for the world and start making decisions that actually protect your peace and your progress. Machiavelli didn't advocate cruelty for its own sake. He didn't say to be a monster. What he said, in essence, is this. If you must choose between being morally pure and being effective, choose effectiveness. Because purity won't save you. It won't shield you from betrayal, or manipulation, or loss. And it certainly won't help you climb the ranks of a society that thrives on competition and dominance. Now here's a question most people never ask. Who benefits when you're trying to be a good person? Not you. Not really. The system does. Your employer who wants you to work overtime without complaint. Your family who expects emotional labor without gratitude. That friend who only calls when they need something. The culture benefits. Religion benefits. But you become drained, directionless, and disposable. In the pursuit of goodness, you lose your edge. Goodness, when it becomes compulsive, is a form of self-betrayal. You say yes because you want to be liked. You give second chances to people who've already shown their character. You stay quiet when something needs to be said because you're afraid of upsetting people. And this, over time, breeds resentment, not just toward others, but toward yourself. You start asking, why am I never enough? Why do people treat me like I'm invisible? Why do I give so much and receive so little? The answer is cruelly simple. Because you've trained them to. You trained the world to expect nothing but compliance from you. You trained them to see your silence as consent, your kindness as weakness, your sacrifice as duty. So what happens when you stop trying to be good? At first, people will resist. They'll be shocked, offended, angry. They'll accuse you of being selfish, cruel, arrogant. Why? Because your change threatens the comfort they had in using you. They'll call you evil for no longer being easy. But that is the first step toward reclaiming your power. You become selective with your time. You say no and mean it. You stop chasing validation and start moving in silence. You realize you don't owe anyone explanations, and that being disliked is a price worth paying for inner peace. This doesn't mean you become a villain. It means you become strategic. Like Machiavelli advised, you learn to play the game of life without letting the game play you. You stop leading with guilt and start leading with clarity. You ask, what's the outcome I want? Instead of, how do I look in their eyes? In politics, business, even relationships, those who succeed are rarely the most good. They're the most clear-headed, the most aware. They understand that the world rewards boldness, not purity. That morals, when used naively, are liabilities. Take a moment and reflect on the most successful people you know. The ones who command respect, the ones who seem untouchable. Are they the nicest people in the room? Or are they the most self-respecting? Morality is a tool. It's not a compass. If you let it define you completely, it will destroy you in a world that doesn't play fair. Machiavelli saw power not as evil, but as necessary. And to wield power effectively, you must sometimes make uncomfortable choices. You must stop seeking approval, stop fearing judgment, start doing what works. The truth is, most people you're trying to please aren't even thinking about you. They're focused on themselves. Your struggle for goodness is invisible to them. And the moment you stop bending over backwards, they move on to the next easy target. That's how the world works. It doesn't reward your goodness. It exploits it. So the next time you catch yourself being the bigger person, ask, is this serving me? Or is it just feeding the illusion of being noble while costing me everything? You don't need to be good. You need to be whole. And wholeness includes anger. It includes selfishness. It includes limits. It includes doing what's necessary, even if it doesn't look noble to others. If you've been raised to think that being good means being submissive, start unlearning that. Start building a new code, one that values your time, your boundaries, your vision, one that allows you to say no without guilt, walk away without regret, and live without apology. There is a quiet strength in not needing to be liked, in standing firm while others waver, in choosing what's effective over what's expected. That's real power. That's freedom. Stop trying to be a good person. Start becoming a strong one,